Hi everyone, CGF Hotshot here, and DC solicitations came out the other day. I'm recording this on Saturday, so they came out yesterday on my end because they came out on Friday. And I just thought, with all of the covers for Flash 800 being announced, and there is a goddamn lot of them, I just thought I'd spend a quick video just talking about the ones I find relevant. I'll miss out like one or two for very specific reasons. If you want to know, if you know about the two variants of that I'm skipping, you'll know why I'm skipping those two. If you don't, pay no attention. I'll cover everything else, and I'll do another cover of something else at the end so I can make up for it. But let's just talk about the main cover real quick by Tower and Clark. I've already touched on this one, how much I really love it, because it's focusing on all the moments of Wally's life. Being struck by lightning as a kid, his wedding with Linda, reuniting with Barry, forming the Titans, having Giant Ire, and then there's of course the classic Flash running streak of going through all of Wally's costumes until you get to the current one. That's like a Tower and Clark special. Yeah, and I really like that. It kind of gives some semblance to the first variant for 768, and this is where we are now. So yeah, I really like that. I also think it looks a lot like the reverse cover for Flash Volume 4 from the New 52 by Francis Manapul. We'll get to Francis Manapul's cover for this in a minute. It reminds me of that, because it's just it's that type of color scheme. So I really dig it. I really dig it. I like it a lot. The second cover we'll talk about is the first variant, the foil variant, by the all-great, all-awesome Francis Manapul. The only person, only Flash creator who's, on the variant cover list. He's the only one who's, done a run on the Flash. And this is why this is probably going to be the variant I'm getting. Yeah, it's Francis Manapul. He's, I've gone on record saying that he's my favorite Flash artist ever. And yeah, this basically proves my point, because it looks so stunning and gorgeous. You have Wally up front when he has his family all behind him, and they're just getting ready to start a family jog. It's just yeah, it's really nice. It's really dynamic. It just looks really happy, and it brings serotonin to my brain. So yeah, that's the Francis Manapul variant. The next cover is by David Nakayama, who's been on the Flash variant list for a while based on 1 Minute War. He's one of the big variant cover artists, and you can tell why, because he's just he's gotten into his groove for Flash variants. If I was able to describe this, it looks very Freddie Williams II-esque. This feels almost like a tribute to that era of the Flash, and I really like it for that, because he's just it's very buff, it's very dynamic posing, and it's very muscular, and it's just yeah. And also the lightning was also very twirly, which is what it was during the Williams II era. So it's just yeah. I like this variant. It's a solid 7 out of 10. Not my favorite, but it's just it's really damn good. You gotta admit. So, yeah, David Nakayama. I can't speak words. Can you tell? I can't speak words? Yeah. Next cover, please. This next one is a tribute to the Flash legacy by Michael Cho. Now, if you look at this cover, for a split second, you can tell what this is. This is very Darwin Cook inspired, very Doc Shaner inspired. I'll talk about Doc Shaner in a minute, by the way. I had some stuff to say about Doc Shaner in this video. But yeah, Michael Cho's cover is very inspired by the Bronze Age aesthetic. And I think that's just because it's his art style. But it works really good for anniversary issues like this, where we're celebrating the legacy of DC Comics. So we're bringing the old and fusing it in with the new. So I really like that. I really like this cover for that. And it's very deserving of just this is a cover for an anniversary issue. And I really like that. I really like that aesthetic. Not my favorite cover, but I respect it for what it is, you know? It's just yeah. Michael Cho, brilliant job. Up next is a cover by Jeff DeCarl. I hope I'm saying his name right. I hope I don't butcher your last name, Jeff. So I'm just going to call you Jeff from now on. Yeah, this is very simple. I don't want to say AI generated, because this is obviously an artist's work. But this is very much video game concept art-esque. It was just the Flash running alongside a cheetah. It's just yeah, this is what you do if you want to pitch a Flash video game or a Flash animated series with CGI. This is the type of art you'd expect for that. which I'm not sure works really well for like a comic cover. However, it looks really good. Like you see the lightning coursing off his hands, and just like the little sparks of detail, and like that glare of like retro TV aesthetic that it borders with, and it's just like, yeah, I really like it. Like top notch, Jeff, top notch. The next cover is by Simone Di Maio. This one is very much like first person perspective. You see Wally's reflection in the raindrops, which is very aesthetic. And I think this is the artist for the Urban Legends issue of just like the Batmobile. And it's just like, yeah, you could tell that this person is like really into like cityscapes and like street corners and cars. Like you can tell that they obviously like use reference images for their covers. And I really like it. I'm not sure if it fits Flash 800 as like a celebration. However, great artwork is great artwork, and I recognize talent when I see it, and I recognize hard work when I see it. So it's just like, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. The next cover is a 1 in 25 incentive cover by Javier Rodriguez. I'm telling you, I can't say his last name properly without making it a tongue twister. So I'm not saying it again, so it's just gonna be Javier. But yeah, this cover is actually really sick. Like, I really like Javier's work on it. It reminds me of, obviously it has like that Silver Bronze Age aesthetic that Michael Cho had earlier. But it also has a bit of like Persona 5 flair. Like, you know how in like Persona 5, and mostly like Joker's character in Smash Brothers, where it's just like on the title screen for Smash Brothers, you see like when they have Joker, they have, if you're playing as player 1, you have all these like red and black aesthetics. Yeah, I really like that here. Because it's just like, yeah, it makes Wally stand out. And it's just like, yeah, I really like the aesthetic. I have this as my background on my phone, actually, because I think it's really cool. Like, it's just really pleasing, you know? It's just like, yeah, top-notch work by Javier. The final Flash 800 cover that we need to talk about is the one by Matt Taylor. This is the 1 in 50 incentive variant, potentially making this the rarest variant. And personally, I don't get why, because it still has that like hyper-realistic style that I'm just not a fan of. And this doesn't feel like very much celebratory. Like, this doesn't feel like Flash 800-esque. Like, this doesn't feel like a celebration of the Flash legacy or Wally West in general. It's just like, that's kind of where it fails to me. And this is actually like the biggest issue with like all these variants, because except for Francis Manapul and Towering Clark, and even Dave Nakayama, there's most of these people haven't done Flash variants before, and if they have, it's just like 1 or 2 in like DC Rebirth, and it's just like these people haven't been creative teams on Flash, and they haven't had like the flair. A bunch of these haven't had the flair that makes it an anniversary issue, with like a few exceptions. And this is like the biggest offender of that, because whilst I can say at least the others are like stunning, like have really great art styles and spectacular, this is the lamest one, and it's supposed to be the rarest one. Well, I won't say this is the lamest one, because there's still like another one that I hate that I'm not gonna talk about, because it's just a promotion for the fucking film. But it's just like, yeah, this is kind of, like, this is not to batch on like Matt Taylor rap, by the way. Like, I really like his art, but it doesn't work if you're trying to get people to buy the Flash 800. Whereas, like, you could have had Sergio Cunha, Brett Booth, Howard Porter, and that would have been more appropriate for this type of cover, because these are people who have worked on the Flash before, and it's very obvious that it's like celebrating their time on the Flash. Just like how Francis Manapul did a special foil cover. Like, this is why Francis is the foil variant, whereas all the, like this one, whereas like all the others just variants, because Francis has worked on the book before, therefore he gets special treatment. You know, like, I'd like to seen that from like Sergio Cunha or Howard Porter or Brett Booth, you know, but unfortunately, you know, it is what it is. And now I'm just gonna take a minute in the video to talk about Doc Shaner real quick. So a few weeks ago, Doc Shaner posted a work in progress for one of the covers that got revealed yesterday. And of course, Flash Twitter went wild because it was just a picture of Wally's logo. And me being me, I thought he was going to do a variant for Flash 800, which, like, in my head, like, really stacked up. It's just like, oh yeah, Doc Shaner's done Flash covers before. He was the main cover artist for Flash Forward. So I was just like, yeah, that makes sense. He has the same Bronze Age aesthetic as Darwin Cook and Michael Cho. And I'm really glad we've got that Michael Cho variant, and we still have that aesthetic as a variant. So it's just like, but in my head, I was just like, yeah, of course it'll be Doc Shaner. And yeah, So when yesterday comes, I was just like, why didn't Doc Shayna's cover get revealed? And then Doc Shayna posted the cover he revealed is just like, this is my variant cover for Titans #2. And I'm just like, Titans? I thought you were doing the Flash, man. So I like quote tweeted him saying that. And he was just like, yeah, you're not the first. Like, this is Doc Shayna replying to me. And I'm very happy about that. I love Doc Shayna. Like, he's an angel. But Doc Shayna is just like, yeah, sorry about that. But you're not the only person who got confused. If I knew that Flash 800 was like getting revealed at the same time, I would not have put that. Which is, yeah. Mistakes get made, but yeah, but it did get us excited, and I still love the variant that he did for Titans. Like, it's really good. Wally steals the show on that. Even though he's in the corner, he's just like, yeah, I'm just chilling, because I'm better than all of you. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. Put your opinions on the covers down in the comments below. I can guarantee you, I've only missed 2, and the 2 I've missed are only because I don't want to talk about them. Right, adieu!